everyone. Welcome to TuckTech. Comments about this post are most welcome. Please do subscribe for more content, sharing the truth to create a greater community. China wants to rule the world. China Plan 2049. Sri Lankan government is so close to China now. Pakistan is also doing the same. Before we start to discuss who is your boss, there will be only two answers. The one who gives us money is boss. We listen to another person's orders as boss. These two definitions belong to China. The organizations which control the world are controlled by China. Would you deny this accusation? The proof will be shared in this post. China is controlling us. A few days ago we posted America is controlling the world. Then we said Illuminati. Now we say China controls the world. Are we changing our statements? No. We should see the changes in the geopolitics. This is not controlled by an organization or a country. They all are controlled by the elite group. The richer people. Which country has the most of the money? China has it. China gives loans to many countries. China has a lot of money, then they can easily become the boss. Did China plan this recently? This plan started 30 years ago. But in 2018, nearly 2,200 rich people and leaders had a meeting. The Chinese president in the day of the China Communist Party (CCP) gives a speech. This speech was for 3 hours and 20 minutes. The speech was contained. What will China achieve in the coming 30 years? How will China do it? Why will China do it? The speech was a clear-cut demonstration of the events which are going to unfold. The major decisions were based for the year 2049. So from 2018 to 2049, China should be #1 country in the world. China should be the power to control all countries. China will be the lead country in Space Force. China must be #1 in exporting to other countries. The 2,200 people present in the conference didn't blink and were enjoying the speech. This will be China's growth. WHO, an important organization. So we listen now to the WHO. So WHO is the boss. WHO had America as boss for some years. America has canceled the funding for the WHO because they were supporting China. Now China has become the boss of WHO. China says that it will fund the WHO. Today WHO has released a map. India and China have border issues. This issue has been known to all countries, whether it's Ladakh issue or J&K issue. This issue is an important one for the international community. WHO releases a map which says that Ladakh in Indian region belongs to China. India strongly opposed it. India will place a request against the map to the UN. United Nations has 15 branches under its name. WHO is a branch of the UN. UNESCO is also a branch of UN. All these organizations come under the UN. So if India says that it will file a report against WHO and UN, who is controlling the UN? The search for us begun and the result is this post. While searching we found a lot of things. In these 15 branch organizations of the UN, only one branch is led by America. China leads 4 organizations. These 4 organizations are the most important. What will be China's next move? We simply searched what is China going to do in the coming 50 years? Many websites, media, even Chinese officials have told that China will conduct 6 wars. From 2020 to 2025, China will conduct a major war against Taiwan. Then it will occupy the country. After the war in 2025, China's growth in the South China Sea will reach its peak. The next war may be against Japan. In 2050 to 2060, the sixth war will wage war against Russia. Will a communist China wage war against a communist Russia? Is China a communist country? China says it's a communist country, but it is not. So plans which China has set up is perfect. In 2049, Belt and Road Initiative will be used by China to the UN. How can China do this? Now turn your attention to Agenda 21. Leave the conspiracy theory part. Agenda 21 was set by the UN. Within 2030, the world people should be given a healthy lifestyle. They killed 1,000 camels because they had water for only 100. So if 100 people don't have anything to eat, kill 10,000 people. This is called Sustainable Development Goal. We know that they killed 1,000 camels. Sustainable Development Goal is called SDG. This is also called UN SDG. So through Belt and Road Initiative, China will support SDG. China has pledged its support to the UN. America stopped funding UNESCO. The next day, China announced that it will fund UNESCO. China says that it will be the boss. UNESCO replied, if there is fun, then we are your slaves. Now China is funding WHO. WHO will now listen to only China. Similarly, the four important branch organizations of the UN are the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO, International Telecommunication Union ITU, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization UNIDE, and the International Civil Aviation Organization ICAO. So these four branches are led by China. In paper it will be India, but decisions will be made by China. So WHO will be led by China. China has funded 12% to UNESCO. So China and these 15 branch organizations have entered into 25 agreements. We know the IMF. IMF determines how India's growth will be. It advises how India should proceed. So the IMF will be given instructions from countries such as ideas. This list of countries is topped by China. So slowly China is taking over an organization which is ruling the world. So whatever China says, these organizations must do and will do. So within 2049 China will control the world. The dragon will control everything. We know that to stop China many countries are trying their best. Whether it's America or the EU. But after a stage, will they be able to stop China? This question ends in coronavirus. The biggest tool for the international community to go against China. If the international community correctly uses this tool, then they can defeat China. If China uses its dragon brain and comes out of this issue. In 2049 China will be the superpower. Somebody has to fund the UN. China was in third place, right? No, China is in number second position. The fund needed for the UN has been given by China in large numbers. For the past years, China's fund has increased by 5%. They have increased their funding by 5%. The only reason is China wants to rule the world. Why is Sri Lanka allied with China? There is a reason. There have been many accusations against Rajapaksa for inhuman acts and massacre. Tamil people. These accusations are placed by many countries and people. The UN's Human Rights Commission has filed a case against murderer Rajapaksa. UN human rights are controlled by China. Do you need proof? Just type in Google DASA UN. Please read the results. We will also post this in our website. How China is controlling the UN. Part 2. We will discuss. Can we go and work in the UN? China is giving training to its students to be employed in major UN organizations. These students are the workers in the organizations. We will discuss this in another post. The proof is given in the description of the video. Comments about this post are most welcome. Join us Tech Teach channel. Sharing the truth to create a greater community.